Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, and I'm fired up. I got some great guests coming on today. I got some great lessons to teach. Remember, Friday's training is the first time I've ever done it. It's mommy issue training. So if you have mommy or daddy issues, come to training 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Download the podcast, the playbook, top podcast that we have. It's featured on Spotify, Entrepreneur, every platform. Search the playbook, download it, like it, share it. Have all the millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs on there, as well as all my trainings, over 20 years of trainings I've done for free. This Friday, Mommy and Daddy Issues, join me. Absolutely. We'll pin that up there. If you want the exercises, guides, and my book for free, I'll ship it, sign it, send it out, and pay for shipping. David@dmeltzer.com. Looking for Team David Meltzer. Never the first one on there. Always on there. Jeff, Colleen, Jake always on there. Andy, always. Nadine, welcome. Here he is, the slow fingers of the Team David Meltzer. All right, let's get rolling. Clubhouse was great last night. If you haven't joined Clubhouse, join me there every Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific time, with the Millionaires Breakfast Club. Glenn Lundy's house. That's right. We were with Mario Armstrong last night and Sean, all the guys. Wow, these questions are pouring in. Is that shirt from the Pro Bowl? No, this is from one of my favorite events ever. It's the Super Bowl. And way back when, they used to have the Beach Bowl. And this one particularly was Warren Moon versus Joe Montana. Televised. It was awesome. Flag football, Snoop Dogg. He was the MVP. And he was celebrating doggy style, as he said. One of my favorite events that they don't do anymore. Colleen was there, and we had Bobby Flay, and all the great chefs were cooking there. It was amazing. Chats with experts on Clubhouse, that's for sure. Keep them coming here. Thank you for all the questions, by the way, loading in. Question related to better profit maximization. Ask me the question related to profit maximization, knowing the reasons, impacts, and capabilities. What is your number one takeaway from the podcast discussion with Clubhouse last night? Just reiterating frequency. I don't think enough people are comfortable with the frequency that they have. They're trying to please too many people. They're not taking a position, finding their organic, authentic self of who they are and what they want to teach. Lessons and stories consistently told and improved upon is the way that we find that frequency, elevate our awareness, find more people that are tuning in as well to that frequency. So that's pretty much my biggest takeaway. If you haven't joined Clubhouse, you got to check us out on Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific time, the Millionaires Breakfast Club with Glenn Lundy and I. You'll love it. What is your source of motivation? First of all, you need to know the difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation gets you up, gets you back up, gets you started, gets you back started. Inspiration gets you there. My source of motivation is understanding the 4 values in which I live by: gratitude, forgiveness, accountability. That will allow me to be inspired, utilizing the 5 daily practices of what you want, who can have it, how you get it, do it now, and practicing ending fear. So it's the what, the who, the how, the now, and end fear. Have a great session, middle of training, lots of love and respect. Right on. Thank you so much for pinging me during that. My dear friends are on there. Keep these questions rolling. Friday's training is on. You got it. Mommy and daddy issues. If you got mommy issues, you got to join us on Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific. If you miss it, featured on Spotify, featured on Entrepreneur, every platform, called the playbook. Join me. You'll love it. Share it. Like it. If you haven't seen the playbook, it has millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, over 600 episodes. You'll love it. And my training and coaching sessions. There's all kinds of stuff there for you. How can I do well in an interview? Number 1, practice, prepare. 2, know your lessons and stories. 3, know your frequency and speak clearly. Articulate the quantitative value of your ideas and let it exceed what people are investing into it. Ryan, good to have you. Podcast with Mike Stud is awesome knowledge. Mike Stud and I, it's on. It's on. We're right like Donkey Kong, Jake. We're having a competition with Mike. It's Beer Pong 2. I call it Jaeger Pong because I won't drink the beer. I'll drink Jaeger and take it to the next level. All right, let's see if my friend Bob Myers is on. My boy Steve Yaffe, shout out to you wherever you are. at Real Bob Myers. Are you here? The real Bob Myers guy exited, sold his company Pillar Technologies to Accenture. Been a friend of mine for years, and now he's working and helping startups with Sky scale their businesses. No better place to be. Bob Myers, reach out to me. David, how are you? David Prince. Are you lost? Because I don't see you, my friend. David Pupick. Bob is a legend. Yes. Thank you, David Puckett. Good to see you here as well. Stevie Yaffe. Stephen Yaffe's a legend. We should have him on here. There he is. The real Bob Myers is here. From Sky, CEO, helping so many people. I love helping startups scale their business, fast access to scalability, viability, capitals, differentiators, outcomes. The man is aligned. What a great way to celebrate Kobe's life. Today's the anniversary of my good friend Kobe Bryant. And I also have Andrew Berman today on that anniversary, who wrote a book right behind me, Kobe Bryant, The Mamba Mentality, How I Play. All right, we're connecting to the real Bob Myers here. Welcome, everyone. Come on, connectivity. Let's make this happen. Keep the questions coming. If you want to join my text community while we wait for Bob here, 949-298-2905. 949-298-2905. Text me. If you want my books, guides, exercises, I'll give them for free. I'll sign my book. I will send it to you, personalized, and pay for shipping. So just reach out, david@dmeltzer.com. Let me try to join in Bob again, the legend. Bob Myers, where are you, my dear friend? Thank you so much for your patience. We got plenty of time for the real Bob Myers. Trust me, we'll go live. He must have that Accenture connectivity. This is what happens when there he is. Hey, the man does not age. See, this is what exiting does. It makes you look younger. How are you?
Dude, I am so good. I am so good. Thank you for having me on, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, we've come a long way since the first time we met.
Oh
And
yeah.
so has our boy Steve Yaffe. I got to give him a triple shout out, because not
Triple
only is he
shout out.
he's my cousin, but more importantly, he's one of the best guys I know. And he's introduced me to people like you my entire life, which I know
Yeah.
is an indicator. You know, you surround yourself with the right people, the right ideas. It's an indicator of who you are. So
Yeah,
thank
absolutely.
you.
Can I give him a little shout out?
Yeah, please.
I'll tell you what Steve's superpower is. And this is a great superpower. He's a connector. He does it all day long. He does it during business. He does it after hours. I mean, I think we connected at the Hall of Fame up in Canton with
Yeah.
I was in Warren's entourage for the afternoon. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a form of success. You know, just being a connector. And he doesn't do it selfishly. He just says, hey, like I know this person, and he connects people. That's how we met. So that
Yeah.
was really, really cool to actually get an invite from you, buddy. I have a lot of respect for you and what you're doing. So
I appreciate it, man. I'm vice versa, and I love what you're doing now. So, I mean, obviously, you had great success with Pillar, exiting with Accenture, but now you're really helping change the world, in my opinion, because entrepreneurs are going to change and save this world. We see it already with the technology and the solutions during COVID that have really eased the pain. Although a lot of people I know are suffering, but imagine if we didn't have the entrepreneurs, the freelancers, the remote workers, the people that you and I work with every day to build and scale these businesses, sometimes in weeks, as we
yeah,
saw.
yeah.
You know, it's just incredible. Give me a little bit of an idea. Number one, what inspired you, you know, after your exit to Accenture to start Sky, and then we'll move on to what exactly you're doing there.
Okay, great. So I went through a period of time, and this is legit if you look on my social media page. I was thinking about retiring. And I think I retired for 30 seconds
That's
because
when
I
I
was
met
like,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, you know what? Why retire? I mean, this is the best part of my life, man. I want to help young entrepreneurs that are inside of corporations or outside of corporations make their dreams happen. I mean, the funnest, most rewarding time of my life was when we built Pillar Technology and I met guys like you. We had a fabulous culture. I'd say the lion's share of people loved working for the company. They didn't work there for a job. They worked there because it was a passion. Okay. And I want to see that happen in other places. I want to help young entrepreneurs walk that journey. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to document the process of me building Sky and the things I'm going through. I'm getting ready to do a social media post here that I sit and think on Saturday, and the thought I was having Saturday was, "Oh, this ain't gonna work. What are you doing? Why don't you just retire and just relax?" And I'm like, forget that thought. I'm not. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna show everybody what it's really like. And those are some of the feelings people have, and they let those feelings, stop them. And I'm trying to get people to let that not happen. Don't let those thoughts of what you couldn't do stop what you could do. So that's what I'm doing.
Bob, it's interesting because, they typed up in there the notes, retired. And I retired in my 30s, which was the dumbest thing I ever did. And what it did is it made me tired, right? And
Yeah,
I worked with a guy, he created Ugg boots, Brian Smith.
yeah,
And I call him a boomapreneur. He's late in his 60s, getting into his 70s. And we came up with the term repurpose. Nobody retires unless you want to
yeah,
get retired, really tired. If you want to get tired again, that's retired. You repurpose, and now you're repurposing other people with the situational knowledge, the dummy tax, right? Like, as much success that you and I have had, we both have paid a lot of dummy tax. We've done
oh
some
my gosh,
really stupid stuff, and
yeah,
we'll continue.
yeah. Don't make the same dummy tax payments we made. Make
Yeah,
new ones, because we're all going to make new ones. Learn from us. We'll help you with the mistakes that we've made. Let's just make fresh new ones.
yeah,
Okay.
there's nothing more frustrating when you see a young entrepreneur with tons of talent and drive, that common denominator as well that Steve Yaffe, yourself, and I have is we must be what we can be. You
Yes.
can't teach that. What frustrates me so much is I'll get a young entrepreneur and he must be what he can be, gives everything, invests in himself, and then makes the same mistakes that you and I made when we were 35.
Yeah.
And it just kills me. I'm like, why didn't you ask for help? Why don't
Yeah.
you think more of these people, and not just entrepreneurs, why do you think people don't ask for help?
Oh, that's a great question, man. If we could solve that question, we'd be. I think that I tell you what, I've got a session I did this weekend, Sit and Think Saturday, and I got three young entrepreneur like people in a room, and I said, what are the voices that are dogging you? One of them sent me a video, and they said, you know what, I'm young and I'm in a meeting, and I'm afraid to ask questions because I'm afraid that I might ask a dumb question. And I replied back to her. This will be on my social media channel here in the next few days. I said, never, never don't ask the question. The biggest mistake you can make is not asking the question. Now, do your homework. Try not to ask like what the company is. You should have known that. But like ask the question, because that's what a customer might ask. Your lack of understanding may be the lack of understanding of the customer. That may be the most important question you could ask. So I think part of it is they just have been trained that maybe asking questions is a form of weakness. That's actually a form of strength. When you and I have pitched deals to people, what do we sit there and do? We sit there and ask them questions.
For
We
sure.
don't know. We don't know what they're doing, but we can very quickly figure out, hey, based on that, based on this, you might be able to go this direction. And it starts this really awesome conversation. If you don't ask questions, you're never going to learn.
And even asking for help in the respect that your business, Sky, is based on people asking for help. You know how many people are sitting there with great innovations, great talent, great capability, and instead of asking, hey, do you know where or who can help me with this to get started, to scale this business? Some people have huge O and little C, and they don't ask,
Yes.
that's big opportunity, little capability for those that don't get that. But more importantly, they don't find the people that have that capability. I talk about, this, what do you want? Right? People don't ask themselves what they want. Then
Yeah.
they don't ask who has it, because you and I both know the easiest way to get somewhere is to ask someone that's already there directions.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? I want to give a shout out to you. That's what we're all about. And it's an honor to be on this call with you because I've listened to your stuff. I've joined in. We are going to change the world maybe big, maybe small, but we are going to die trying.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
and and you know what's good, Bob, because I'm around the same circles as you. I watch you. I know people who know you. And the one thing that really I've learned through this social media thing is you and I are also planting seeds under trees that we may never sit under. So
Oh,
when we talk
beautiful.
about small or big impact, we don't really know because the seeds we're planting today may be big oaks someday that we never see or know about or hear about or whatever. But if we keep planting those seeds, it to me, I
Yeah.
know in my deepest soul that that's going to create the acceleration, growth, all the things that this possibility world that we live in and that you and I have experienced can be
Yeah.
shared with so many more people. Real quick, last question, talking about the mindset of possibility. You sat there wanting to retire, thinking about it for 30 seconds, but then it seemed like to me that possibility light came on and said, hold on a second. There's so many
Yeah.
more possibilities in my life. I see people getting stuck in that step of, that's not possible. How can we help inspire, cross over so that they feel the possibilities that you and I have felt, even when, they're going to look at us and say, oh yeah, it's easy. You two guys have made it. Everything's possible for you. No, I lost everything. I grew up with nothing. And
Yeah.
I had that same mindset. It's a lot easier when you're coming off big wins to
Yeah.
think of possibilities. But
Yeah.
what is it to get people in that mindset to make everything possible?
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
That was a great question. 3 words: can't, won't, never. They motivate me. I turn them into can, will, now. That's what I do. I mean, I, because they're taking possibility out of the equation, I'm putting it back in with can. I mean, that's the mentality that I've had since I was a kid. I'm just like you. I grew up poor as poor could be. My dad would tell me to go get a paper route, or he wasn't going to give me no money. He didn't have no money. I'm not giving you any money. I got to pay for groceries. You got to find your own money. I did it. Okay. So just eliminate those words from your vocabulary. If you catch yourself saying can't, now there's things you can say can't on. Don't break the law. That's a can't. Okay.
Yeah.
But as far as the world of possibility, there is nothing that you can't do, and you can't get close by taking small steps. Just be willing to have the courage to try. And if you have the courage to try, I guarantee you, if you work with Dave Meltzer and Sky and Bob Myers, we will help you get through this. I'm telling you, you started a bunch of businesses. I started a bunch of businesses. We will help you get through it, or we'll tell you, guys, you got to need to pivot. That market may or may not, but this market over here, that one I would seriously think about.
So
I mean,
smart.
there's so many resources for people. The key is courage. Just do it.
Yeah, I have one more to add, and I'm gonna let you go. It's if you hear "why me," turn it into "try me." I hate the
Yeah.
why me people. It's like why me? I'm like, are you a victim? What world are you living in? I'm a try me guy.
Yeah.
I am shit will hit me, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's all you got. That's why I have that poster of Rocky
Yeah.
right up of my thing. It's like not how hard you can hit me. It's whether or how hard I can hit back. It's whether how many punches I can keep on taking and keep on moving forward. Try me. And that
Yeah.
try me attitude is what got you there with all the right mindset, heart set too, and of course the conscious, pragmatic learning and lessons that you've had. Man, let's do this more often. Let's do it
Yeah.
again. Maybe
Seriously.
we jump on a Clubhouse or something. I've been working the audio for a face like this. Clubhouse is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So today is Super Tip Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in LA in 2 weeks for Super Tip Tuesday. So look that up on Instagram. It's a really, really cool idea. Go check it out.
You got it. Super Tip Tuesday. Bob Meyer, chairman of Sky. Check him out. It's Sky, SKYLLC.com. At Real Bob Myers. It's posted up there. I see Steve Yaffe's in here. Now I've got to give him one more shout out because I love that guy. You would not be here but for Steve Yaffe making that connection and so
Absolutely.
many others in my
Absolutely.
life. So thank you for both of you.
Love you, man. Let's get together soon, okay?
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the
All
great
right.
lessons. Take care.
Okay. All right, man. Talk to you
The
soon.
great
Bye-bye.
Bob Myers, Real Bob Myers. Check him out. Super Tip Tuesday. We'll check it out. He's coming to LA. We will socially distance together and work on those tips. Thank you, Steve Yaffe. As always, not only are you my cousin, You're an incredible entrepreneur and friend. And it's always good to see you. So thank you. All right. We are going the other direction. Look at that. I will view this request. My next guest, CEO of Moxie Hub, and it's Courtney Lawless.
Hi,
Hi, Courtney. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you for joining me.
I'm
Hopefully you
excited.
were kind of tuned in to Bob. I love that guy. He gets me all fired up.
It was great.
And we're moving more into the technology side of things. Give me a little bit of background. And I think it's Moxie Hub. Is that correct?
It is. You got that right.
Oh, see, I'm a name butcher, so I'm so proud of myself when I get something right. That's awesome. Give me a little background on Moxie Hub.
So Moxie Hub was started 3 years ago. It's a full stack software and app development firm based in Boston. I run it with a partner, and we're a boutique business, but we take down a lot of big players.
And what do you think your superpower is to be able to compete with the bigger players, in a very competitive market?
So I think our superpower really is our people, and what differentiates us in the business is our process. And we really strive for operational excellence in everything that we do. And then that comes across in our deliverables.
And you also, like Bob Myers, work with tons of different companies, and you're helping me save the world, empowering over 1 billion people to be happy by helping people make more money to allow them to help more people, and of course, have more fun. And you, like me, have a new TV show on Amazon
I do.
as well. And that's launching. Has it launched now? I know it was launching in January. Has it actually launched?
It did. It just launched the 12th, which
Ah,
is great. Yeah.
awesome.
So getting a lot of good reviews and some positive feedback, but I love it. I mean, it's definitely a passion of mine is to help entrepreneurs. And when I was approached about doing the show, I was so excited. Really is based on investors coming together to help nurture the skill sets, the connections, the network, and everything that an entrepreneur would need to be successful.
That's awesome. Our show launched January 8th, 4 days before, and it's the complement to yours because we strictly, I have my own funding show with entrepreneur called Elevator Pitch, which is great. But I said, you know what, I'm getting really focused. I'm just going on the pitch side of things, and we'll let the geniuses of the world like you, Courtney, handle all the difficult funding and venture side of the intricacies of that. And it's called Wolfpack, right? PAC.
Yes. Yes.
Look at me. I'm 2 for 2 on names.
You're
I'm improving with
killing
this
it.
whole media game. What's the biggest mistake that you see entrepreneurs making? We've been through this pandemic. There's all types of opportunity. We see that, the early statements were, hey, with great change comes great opportunity. I think you're seeing the cream rise to the top. You got the thirds developed, the third of the people getting beaten up, the third of the people just stabilized, and a third of the people really doing well and taking advantage of this. What is one of the biggest mistakes that you see entrepreneurs making today that you could help them with right away?
So, one of the things that I see when entrepreneurs start out is framing the question of what problem they're solving to fit their solution, as opposed to their solution really filling a place in the market. So I think that's one of the biggest hurdles that people overlook because they see a solution, they can frame a problem around it, and not every problem needs a solution, unfortunately.
Say that again, because I find that is a huge problem. Say it for everyone. Listen to what Courtney's saying very closely. Go ahead.
So a solution to fit a problem is not actually solving something. So not every problem out there needs a solution.
Especially in the space of making money. I think a lot of people, there's a huge need to fill, and being in business, the heartbeat of a business is the bank account. If your bank account says zero, you're not in business anymore. It's just like your heart. If your heart stops beating, your brain can stop, your eyes can stop, your nose can stop, your fingers can fall off. You're still alive. A lot of entrepreneurs, especially innovators, the early stage ideation type of people, they don't connect the dots backwards to wait, hold on a second. Before I invest all this time in myself, in the solution, is it actually a business? What are some of the things that we can look at capability wise or technique wise in order to effectuate whether there is an opportunity that can be monetized that actually is a business?
So I think the next piece is really looking at the market and the numbers, because that becomes the next mistake that most entrepreneurs make, is making the numbers work. And I can't tell you how many times I've had this conversation of, no, we don't make the numbers work. They do work or they don't work. So really getting with someone, an expert or someone that you know that can help you put together a financial model that is realistic, it's based on precedent, and it is supported by the market, I think that's a really great place to launch something from. If you can have the numbers show you that it works, then I think you're onto something.
Courtney, it's super rare for me to have someone like you on that's very pragmatic. I can see kind of your engineering type of mind. I'm a math person, and although I don't come off of it like that anymore in my older age, a lot of times the bigger accusations I have are I'm too woo-woo or spiritual, or what the F is Dave Meltzer talking about? I don't understand vibration or any of the emotional stuff that I talk about. But I'm very pragmatic. It's like ringing in my ears and my heart is singing when you're like, no, we don't make numbers work, right? We quantify reasons, we quantify impact, we quantify capabilities. And if the math doesn't work, you don't have a business. Let's, make something that makes money or creates abundance for others anyway. Coming from the stage of your life, obviously you're a lot younger than I am. And very pragmatic person, which I love, right? That's a key and cornerstone to, I could tell, your extreme success. But I have this feeling that you also have this emotional intelligence, this, I dare say, spirituality or spiritual side to you. And I'd love to hear how you blend that into what seems to be a very pragmatic methodology and way of life and way of thinking.
It is, I just really started to expand on that in the last few years, and really trying to understand not only my center and emotional intelligence, but that of other people as well, and creating and manifesting my own life and finding the blockers. And then it's interesting as I've gone through this journey myself, looking at entrepreneurs and having this dichotomous view of having to be pragmatic, but also having the empathy to see them hitting some of the same blockers mentally that I would, of I can't do this, or I don't know how to do this. And, letting that really weigh down on my vibrations and putting out bad energy. So it's a balance, and some days I don't get it right.
Some days I don't get it right either. And I've been practicing for over 15 years, but it absolutely makes my life better, allowing me only to spend minutes and moments in that interference or blockage of getting in our own way, and truly having faith that although we think, say, do and believe all the right things and have the math to back it up, that there's a greater source that allows things to happen. And if we can tap into that, and when I do, it just regenerates my belief that there has to be a blend between the two. Real quick before I let you go, we've talked about your academic intelligence, the pragmatic intelligence that you have, which you easily exude, and everybody can see that. And, I'm sure it shows on the TV show. We talked about your emotional intelligence, which I kind of had an empathetic feeling that you have a heightened level of emotional intelligence. There's a third intelligence that I've been working with, especially in the last decade because of technology. And you were working right within the development with your, stack that you have. It's adaptable intelligence. And I think it's separate from the intellect and the emotional side of what you do. How have you seen over the last decade your adaptable intelligence rise, or what components or capabilities of adaptable intelligence do you apply today that you believe will help you continue to accelerate and grow in the next decade, which will have even more adaptability necessary to succeed?
So I think that's a really interesting question. And, it's been more recently that I have become more adaptable in my thinking and not so rigid. And allowing more of a flow than a force. Really looking at the big picture, kind of taking a minute to look at the situation as opposed to coming from corporate, I need to make a decision now, everything is black and white. I think living in the gray a little more and taking a few minutes to really look at the landscape and look at what's coming before I start to make decisions is how have started to learn to become more adaptable in my thinking.
I love your awareness to the stage in which your journey is taking. And I can feel that energy of, still holding back, that you have so much of curiosity into this other side beyond. And it just so much reminds me of myself, when I was your age and in your position of like, I know there's something here, but I'm super pragmatic about things and I want proof. And I really know that. And I can't wait till you and I have a future conversation and this evolves and envelops the way that I believe, but continue the consistent, persistent pursuit of the potential that you have, because it's extraordinary. Great luck and great success in your business. And people can find Moxie Hub at moxiehub.com, and it's moxehub.com. And you're at Lawless_CM, Courtney Lawless. Make sure everybody checks out, after they watch 2-Minute Drill on Amazon, check out the Wolfpack PAC. It's a perfect compliment. We should put them right next to each other, because
I think so.
It's a great lead-in. See the pitch and then see how to really make money and raise money with the great expertise that Courtney has. Courtney, thank you so, so much. Look forward to doing more with you. Just reach out. Anything I can do would be of service. You're kicking butt. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. The great Courtney Lawless. We had the real Bob Myers, real entrepreneurs who are philanthropreneurs, giving back to everybody. Just great people, beyond knowledgeable, experienced, etc. Really want to thank both of you for coming on. Gosh, so familiar talking to Courtney. I'm like, am I talking to myself when I was her age? Because I know there's so much there, so much power, light, and love, and lessons that she can help with so many people. Check out the Wolfpack Show. It just started January 12th. Check out 2-Minute Drill. It started January 8th on Amazon Prime Video. 2-Minute Drill is also on Bloomberg TV on Fridays. Elevator Pitch, they're all great. Anyway, my Friday training's in a whole nother realm. Mommy issues. You got mommy issues, you got daddy issues, come to my training on Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific. Join me for free. Exercises, guides, books for free. David at D Meltzer. We are over, I think, 30,000 people every Friday registered. And of course, millions watch the playbook, download it, share it. Millions watch the playbook with all the trainings. But we also slide in some superstar billionaire, millionaires, entrepreneurs, all in there, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, the biggest names to learn from beyond learning from me. But it's a great book to success. Jesus, welcome again. Thank you for the compliments. This is for you, to help you with those insights. Let me take a couple questions, because there's so many in here loaded up, and then we'll get going on the day. What lessons brought you the most pain before learning? If it's too good to be true, it is, and there's no need to be offended. So, the whole lesson of trust, but be a maniac in vetting, right? Trust. Kathy Cardania. Oh, hello, Kathy. One of the greatest PR people in the world, Donovan McNabb's unbelievable partner. There she is, Kathy Cardania's PR. Check her out. I'm sorry, I interrupted myself. ADD is not terrific when you got all these notes going by. So anyway, that's what we want to do. Do I have to look the part? I do not, in the style of have ear gauges. That's funny. All right, let's get another lesson here. What lesson did you learn from interviewing Kobe Bryant? More than that, just being with Kobe Bryant, out of almost everyone I've ever met, that unbelievable desire that you must be what you can be. He was living what I teach. He was living what I wanted. He understood his potential from the 8th grade on, and pursuing. He tells a story about one of my friends, Rudy Rudiger. They made the movie Rudy about it. Most of you young people may not have ever seen it. Angelo Pizzo, David Anspaugh did it. Two of my partners in other movies. Doing another one, Horses of Fire with Angelo Pizzo. He wrote the script. But he talked about, Rudy's one of my favorite movies. It inspired me. It motivated me. It's a guy that played one play at Notre Dame with Joe Montana on that team. But Kobe said that it was his favorite movie. And I was like, how could Rudy be your favorite movie? If anyone's seen the movie, Rudy's for people like David Meltzer, guys with no talent that only have heart, that try their best, and their very best is to be able to play one play at Notre Dame, or their very best is to be the average Division III football player like David Meltzer. How could Kobe Bryant, perhaps one of the greatest, if not the greatest athlete, NBA star ever, how could that be? That Rudy is his favorite movie. And what he told me was the lesson that I learned. He said Rudy was his favorite movie because when he wasn't giving his best, his dad would hand him the DVD of Rudy, and he'd watch it to remind himself to pursue his potential. Although his potential was far more than playing one play at Notre Dame, or for me being a Division III athlete. For him, it was to be the world's best at whatever it be. Academy Awards, sports, whatever it would be. And that's the greatest lesson that I learned from Kobe Bryant. May you rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. You are one of my mentors and heroes, and I dare to say friend. Thank you so much. Let's leave on that note. Remember Friday's training, 11 a.m. Pacific. It's free. Check it out, david@dmeltzer.com if you want the exercises, guides, and books for free. Just reach out. Join my text community, 949-298-2905. And remember, most importantly, as Kobe Bryant also believed, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. We'll see you tomorrow.